I'm going to discuss about one of the very, very important subjects, climate change. Climate change today threatens our environment, our health, our lives, our economy, our national security, and of course our future. A lot of people, especially Africans, would say, but we don't contribute to this CO2, these emissions. Perhaps, yes, we are the least contributors. But unfortunately, we are more vulnerable than any other continent on the globe. Climate change today is a serious health problem. It's a serious problem in economy. It's a serious problem in security. The chlorofluorocarbons emitted into atmosphere had depleted the ozone layer. Today, after a few years, from 2010 to date, we have more ultraviolet rays within the Earth's surface than any other time in the history. How climate change affects us. Let me give you an instance, a very practical experience. I was involved in a agri-value chain development and management, just somewhere around Zamfara area, Bakura local government precisely. We tried to answer certain questions asked by farmers. That few years back, a hectare of farmland around 2000, the year 2000, 2002 and 2003 was producing 100 bags of 100 kg of paddy rice. But somewhere around 2004 and 2005, there was sharp decrease in production generally and yield to about 35 to 40 bags per hectare. I'm sure many of you would understand. This is the area. This is just Bakura local government here around Zamfara. This was 2000 and, year 2000 and 2002 to 2003. This is a local picture that I personally took. 2 years after, this is what we had. The same year, the same period. This is what we had. With the increase in population, Nigerian population increases by 2.3% annually. Whereas the acidic rain as a result of climate change is already affecting the top layer of the soil. That causes a sharp decrease in food production. On the other hand, you have a rapid increase of population by 2.3% annually, which simply means, according to World Clock report, recent report, 1999, said Nigeria has taken over India as the world extreme with world extreme poor people in the world. You have an increase in production and a decrease in production. You have an increase in population. The poverty is increasing. I'm sure you would agree with me, there's a looming danger and food crisis. By 2050, Nigerian population will increase by 450 million. Of course, you have human activities contributing to climate change. If you look at the aggregate value chain between production to warehousing, every single part of this chain has been affected by climate change. Every single part. This was my picture 2004. I was in blue, blue, with farmers, interviewing them. The first person in red told me 3 years back then, produced 100 bags of paddy rice on this particular farm. But 2 years, with all the farm management, he could only produce 35 bags. Now, what are the consequences of this? A lot of people would be wondering, why do we have continuous conflict in the north? In Nigeria, we have 4.5 billion hectares of arable land that can produce paddy rice. But today, we are reduced to nothing more than 35 to 40% of what can be produced in terms of quality and quantity. The herdsmen-farmers conflict is caused mainly by climate change. The crisis in northeastern part of the country of Maiduguri is aggravated by climate change. A lot of young Nigerians, especially in the north, are migrating from rural communities to urban areas. A recent report by National Bureau for Statistics indicated that 13.5 million Nigerians are unemployable. The figures coming out are scary. By any standard, by any measure. Yes, climate change is a global problem contributed by major industrialized nations. But today, if the trends continues, it is going to affect African countries more than ever before. And Nigeria is going to be vulnerable. And northern part of the country, especially the Sokoto region. is going to be more affected than any other part of the country. If you look at the chains here, from production to processing, over 90% of northern population are farmers. The quality of output that has already been affected by climate change is affecting a larger population of northern population, which means between production and processing, the quality and quantity have been affected already, thereby affecting the people, the farmers, and contributing more to unemployment and unemployability. What do we do? One of the things we should do is to begin to talk, discuss in fora like this. Some of us in academia will take this as a challenge to talk about climate change. A coalition of intellectuals, policymakers can be engaged. The future of you and I, the future of our children, food crisis is looming. And unless we do something about it, it is going to affect all of us. Thank you very much.